where only 2 years are left. On 1% change, the fluctuation will be 2%. And when 0 years are left, there will be no fluctuation. So if you remember, this was a rule we did. The duration decreases, like BPV, it decreases with maturity. On day of maturity, it is 0. Same as with duration. Okay, so as the duration reduces, BPV reduces. Okay, as the duration reduces, the fluctuation in the bond price keeps on reducing. Is that clear? So this is now. So in duration, what we will remember? Duration is a measure of bond sensitivity to interest rate changes. Duration of portfolio is more important than a single bond. That is why duration of a single bond was discussed in ABM and duration of portfolio is discussed in BFM. It is calculated by adding market price to the duration of individual bonds. This is a formula. Okay, and understand this. Modified duration is generally accurate for small changes in price. This question can also come. This is a formula. Percentage change in price is equal to modified duration into change in yield. Everybody, I want you to read this example number 1 and example number 2. Just read them right now. रघुवीर जी, आपने मुझे क्वेश्चन भेजना था. मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं आया अभी तक. Yes, please, shall we proceed? Have you read these 2 examples? Bolo ji. Okay. Now, the concept of duration is also used in balance sheet. Okay. As duration of assets and duration of liabilities, from where we get the concept known as duration gap. It helps us to analyze sensitivity of banks' earning to interest rate changes. When the interest rate changes, how does it affect the? How does it affect the? Mr. Manish, आपका माइक में 3 बार म्यूट कर चुका हूं सर. Sensitivity of banks' earnings to the interest rate changes. Okay, this 5-mark case study comes on duration gap, but that comes in interest rate risk. We will do it later. Now come to downside potential. Downside potential, we will do it on the next page. Okay. Now, first, we will do a question. This type of question also came in the exam in one of the sets. The question that we did yesterday, that also has come in the exam. उसके अलावा मुझे एक क्वेश्चन और आया है, which I'll just have a look and cover it with you in a day or so. In between the class only I'll cover it. Now what is this? First understand what is volatility. In simple words, volatility is, let us say, the mic mute करो यार सारे अपने. Let us say this is the share price of SBI. It is 100 rupees. Share price of SBI. Okay, and if there is, when the traders calculate volatility, from volatility they come to know that how much up or down this share will go today. So maybe traders say that this share price will go up to 105 and go down up to 95. So how do they get this figure, that how much it will go up, how much it will go down? This they get through the volatility calculation. From here, traders will make their strategies. A trader will think that I have to buy somewhere near this point when it is at 95 or 96, and I have to sell when it is somewhere here between 103 to 105, and I will make profit. So this is the most common practical example of why is volatility needed. So basically, if you see what is happening, what this 100 is the mean. This 100 is the mean. And this 105 value and this 95 value, these values are, if you see, deviations from the mean. How much these values are deviated from the mean. And deviation from the mean we calculated by standard deviation, if you remember. So let us see now. Don't write anything first, only understand this example. We have data for 4 days. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let us say this share price of SBI closed at 75 rupees one day, then 76 another day, then 77 another day, then 78. So this is the closing price. Of share of SBI. Then what is the average? So 75 plus 76 plus 77 plus 78. Add them, divide by 4. This is the mean. Basically, if you see what is happening, if you see, this is the mean, 76.5. One day, the share is closing at 75. This is 75. Another day, it is closing at 76. This is 76. Another day it is closing at 77. Another day it is closing at 78. So if you see how much is the deviation of this data from the mean, this point is deviated by minus 1.5. This is deviated by minus 0.5. This is deviated by plus 0.5, and this is deviated by plus 1.5. Okay, see this? Deviation is, what is deviation? Deviation is basically your closing price minus your mean. So minus 1.5, minus 0.5, plus 0.5, plus 1.5. 75 minus this, 76 minus this, 77 minus this, 78 minus this. Is it okay? Yes or no? Okay. So basically, if you add these deviations, this is 0. So what does this 0 means? This 0 says there is no deviation in the data. How is it possible? We can see there's so much deviation here, 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 here. Right? There's so much deviation. So then why are we getting this sign as 0? We are getting it as 0 due to negative sign, negative and positive sign. So how do we solve this problem? So the researchers said that if we have to solve this problem of negative and positive sign so that we don't get the deviation as 0, they said the best part is let us square them, because when you square them the minus sign is gone and overall the magnitude remains the same. So minus 1.5 whole square is 2.25, 0.5 whole square is 0.25, this is 0.25, 2.25. This is your sum of squared deviations. Is that clear? From this sum, we calculate the next step is variance. So the formula of variance is sum of squared deviation divided by the number of observations. How many days data you have taken? In this case, we have taken 4 days data. So this is my variance, 1.25. And what is volatility? Volatility in statistics means standard deviation. So standard deviation is equal to under root of variance. Alright? Under root of variance. So under root of 1.25 is equals to 1.118. Now this is the volatility of 4 days. So this is the volatility for 4 days, 1.118. Please note it down up to this point.
The previous slide.
One slide. This is the first slide of volatility.
Sir, you explained the graph.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just note it down fast, sir. Have you noted?
सत्य एक दिन के मॉडल
क्या
जी एक दिन के मॉडल टॉलरेट की है या फिर
ये 4 दिन की है ना सर, अभी 4 दिन का डाटा है ये। एक दिन की अगली अभी ये क्वेश्चन खत्म नहीं हुआ।
ठीक है सर, ऐसा क्वेश्चन था सर एक लास्ट टाइम।
हाँ जी, पिछले पेपर इन द प्रीवियस एग्जाम दिस क्वेश्चन केम।
जी
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
हाँ जी मैम।
सर वॉलेटिलिटी और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन में कोई डिफरेंस है?
मैम वॉलेटिलिटी को स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन वॉलेटिलिटी का मैथमेटिकल नेम है स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन। आपका नाम क्या है मैम? व्हाट इज योर नेम?
सर मीनाक्षी।
घर पे आपको क्या बुलाते हैं? आपका निकनेम क्या है?
मनी।
बस फिर मनी और मीनाक्षी में क्या फर्क है? मनी बस वो जो मनी और मीनाक्षी में जो डिफरेंस है वही वॉलेटिलिटी और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन में। ओके
ठीक है सर, ठीक है। हाँ जी।
अरे 1.118 कैसे करें?
क्या बोल रहे हो सर?
1.118 कैलकुलेशन कैसे?
आपकी आवाज नहीं समझ आ रही सर, आपकी आवाज नहीं, इट इज नॉट क्लियर। दोबारा बोलिए
सर 1.118 है ना, ये कैसे आया?
अंडर रूट ऑफ 1.25 इसका अंडर रूट करो कैलकुलेटर पे, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 1.25।
ठीक है सर, ओके सर, डन।
Okay, now next part. This is my volatility for 1 day. Okay, remember this method of calculating volatility. This is known as historical simulation. Why? Because I am using the historical data. This is the historical data. This is the historical data, previous data. So based on the historical data, I am trying to estimate the volatility. Now, my boss says that please calculate volatility for 30 days. Now for this, there is a formula known as this. VT, volatility of T days, is equals to volatility of 1 day into square root of T. Okay, this formula is known as square root of time rule. This formula is known as square root of time rule. In simple words, it is like this: volatility of T days is equals to volatility of 1 day into under root of T. Okay, now we put this T equal to 30. So we say V30 is equals to volatility of 1 day into under root of 30. Now under root of 30 can be calculated, but the question is, what is this volatility of 1 day? I don't know. Now I will use the same formula to first calculate the volatility of 1 day. So VT is equals to V daily into under root of T. Now I have volatility for 4 days. It is equal to how much? 1.118. So here I put this T equals to 4. So this becomes volatility of 4 days is equals to volatility of 1 day into under root of 4. यार माइक बंद नहीं कर सकते यार आप लोग। मिस्टर महेंद्र पाल, fine. So what is your volatility of 4 days? It is 1.118 118 is equals to volatility of 1 day into 2. So from here we can calculate that volatility of 1 day is equals to 1.118 divided by 2. How much it is, tell me? Calculate.
0.559.
0.559. 559. Now this volatility is plugged here. So this becomes volatility of 30 days is equals to 0.559 into under root of 30. Can you calculate it? What is the volatility of 30 days?
3.061.
3.50. Now please note down this slide.
Sir, 3.061 आपने 3.5
3.061 है? एक मिनट रुको, hold करो.
Yes, sir.
Just give me a second, I'll just correct it. .06. Okay. Have you noted it? So this entire question can come. Generally, in your paper, he will give you like this. If he wants to give you, he can give you like this. That volatility of 4 days is given, 1.118. Calculate volatility of 1 day, and then he will say calculate volatility for 25 days, or calculate volatility of 30 days, or how many, whatever it is. So this question can come to you for 2 marks. Is that clear? Okay. Very rare cases, this whole question can come. He can give you the closing price, and just simply based on this closing price, you have to calculate everything. In this case, the question can come for 5 marks. Gurpreet, question कितना बड़ा आया था पेपर में ये वाला?
2 नंबर पे
5 marks.
No, sir, 5 marks.
Okay, so
Five marks.
okay, so in some states, एक मिनट गुरप्रीत जी, किसी सेट में see there are now 9 sets in your exam, because 3 sets in morning shift, 3 in afternoon, 3 in evening. So you take it that in some shift they give this question for 5 marks, in some they give for 2 marks. in
Sir.
some shift they did not
Excuse me, sir.
give the question. हाँ जी बोलिए सर.
सर मैंने जो अभी आपको जस्ट व्हाट्सएप पर जो मैसेज किया है,
क्या बोलिए सर?
मैंने जो अभी आपको व्हाट्सएप पर मैसेज किया है,
एक मिनट होल्ड कीजिए, मैं अपना फोन लेके आता हूँ. एक मिनट रुकिए.
सर इस बार ही तो सिर्फ 2 ही शिफ्ट दी है, 8:30 और 11.
ओके सर.
तो
सर आपने कितने पेज भेजे हैं?
ये देखिए, सबसे पहले जो मैंने भेजा है स्पॉट प्राइस और डेज दिया हुआ 1 से 10 तक, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन.
एक मिनट सर रुकिए, मेरे को ढूंढने दीजिए. आपका नाम क्या है सर?
रघुवीर कुमार सिंह.
रघुवीर जी मुझे नहीं आया.
नहीं सर, 96080 से मैसेज गया, आपने रीड भी किया है सर. और फिर दोबारा सेंड करूं क्या?
एक मिनट, कब अभी भेजा कि पहले भेजा था?
अभी जस्ट भी भेजा हूं.
सर मुझे ना एक मैसेज मुझे मेरे ऑफिस से नीरज ने भेजा है और
सर अभी मैंने फिर जस्ट आपको वही क्वेश्चन भेजा हूँ.
किस नंबर पे भेज रहे हो सर मैसेज, आप बताओ मुझे.
ये सर 9041071058 पे.
सर ये मेरा नंबर नहीं, ये ऑफिस का नंबर है. इट्स ओके. आप मेरा नंबर लिखिए. मेरे दो नंबर हैं इंडिया के. एक नंबर है 98780
98780
92621.
92621.
हाँ 92621, ठीक है. और दूसरा नंबर है 836 038 2885.
ये 621 वाले पे भेज दूं क्या सर अभी आपको?
भेज दो.
चूंकि सर ये जो क्वेश्चन मैंने अभी भेजा है ना, एग्जैक्ट मुझे ये क्वेश्चन याद और 5 मार्क्स ये आई थी मॉर्निंग शिफ्ट में 8:30 AM में. सेम क्वेश्चन ये आई थी.
भेजो सर,
अभी भेज रहा हूं.
योगेश जी मेरे को आपका मैसेज भी रिसीव हुआ. अभी मैं एक बार, मुझे कुछ टाइम दीजिए, मैं एक बार पहले इनका प्रिंट आउट निकाल के पहले देखूं कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन आए हैं. जो क्वेश्चन डिफरेंट है सो उसे फिर आई विल डू इट इन सम अदर डे. मींस एक एक्स्ट्रा सेशन रख लेंगे, उसमें देख लेंगे, क्लास के इन बिटवीन हम कर लेंगे.
सर सारे क्वेश्चन डिस्कस होंगे ना सर?
सर मैं अभी देख लूंगा. हाँ पूरी कोशिश करूंगा सारे करें. रघुवीर जी मिला नहीं मुझे अभी तक.
हाँ सर अभी जस्ट गया सर, हाई लिख कर भेजा हूँ.
ओके हाँ जी, मुझे आपका हाई का मैसेज आ गया.
अब मैं वो क्वेश्चन आपको सेंड कर दूंगा सर. एग्जैक्ट यही सवाल आए थे, मुझे ये कर नहीं पाया इसलिए मुझे ये क्वेश्चन याद हो गई थी.
अच्छा ये आपने 3 पेज भेजे थे पहले?
हाँ 3 पेज मैंने भेजा है. तो ये अभी जस्ट क्वेश्चन जो भी आपने टॉपिक पढ़ा रहा है ना सर, उसी का है ये क्वेश्चन. और भी क्वेश्चन कुछ हम नोट किए थे, ये भी मैं आपको भेज दे रहा हूँ सर. जो आप
ये देखो जो आपने सबसे पहले भेजा ना सर क्वेश्चन, तो ये आप देखिए, ये आपको 10 दिन का डाटा है उसने दे दिया. He has given you data for 10 days. ठीक है
जी सर.
और उसने पहले पूछा है कि फाइंड द
वेरिएंस.
तो ये देखो, ये रहा आपका वेरिएंस. दिस इज हाउ वी कैलकुलेट वेरिएंस.
जी
देखो ना, पहले उसने आपको 10 दिन का डाटा दिया, सो 10 दिन की क्लोजिंग प्राइस हो गई. फर्स्ट यू विल कैलकुलेट मीन, देन डेविएशन, देन स्क्वायर डेविएशन, देन व्हाटएवर इज द सम ऑफ स्क्वायर डेविएशन डिवाइडेड बाय 10 करोगे, यू विल गेट द वेरिएशन. फिर उसने आपसे पूछा वॉलेटिलिटी. ओके, वॉलेटिलिटी ऑफ द डेटा. सो व्हाटएवर इज योर वेरिएंस, यू विल अंडर रूट इट, स्क्वायर रूट इट, you get the volatility. फिर this was of your first question. Then he asked you monthly volatility. So monthly volatility में क्या कहते हैं, आप 30 days ले लेते हो. अच्छा अब इधर प्लीज ध्यान से देखेंगे, sometimes in monthly volatility we take 25 days also, depending on if he has mentioned that in question. If he says assume 25 working days in a month, something like that. But nahi kuch diya, you will stick to 30. So to calculate volatility for 30 days, you will first calculate volatility for 1 day. Then third question, उसने दिया weekly volatility. What is weekly volatility? Instead of 30, you will put 7. उसके बाद उसने कहा 10th day volatility. So 10th day volatility is your V10 volatility for 10th day. All right. Then he did what is the mean of spot price. So average is this. This is the average, this part. So this exact question means just a different wordings. This question came to your set for 5 marks.
8:30 AM पे थी सर.
कोई बात नहीं, no problem. Right? So
सर 10th डे की कैसे निकालेंगे? 10th डे की बोला ना सर अभी आपने.
B10. Okay. Now ये हो गया. उसके बाद just give me a second. Open your case study book. Now see this. Open your case study number 38. See the first one. Find the volatility over a time period of 1 month when daily volatility is 1%. So VD is equal to 1%. You have to calculate V30. Can you do it? देखो formula you know. VT is equals to V daily into under root of T. So you put VT equal to 30. V30 is equals to V daily. V daily is 1%, 1 into under root of 30. Answer is 5.48%. Yes or no?
Yes sir.
सर 1% को 1 लेंगे कि 1 ही लेंगे?
हाँ जी. Now see this. Find the volatility per day. For 1 day volatility you have to calculate. If volatility per annum is 25%, and then he says number of trading days in a year is 252.
डेसिमल में क्यों नहीं लेंगे 1% को?
तो सर इधर भी तो फिर हमने परसेंटेज में ही आंसर ले लिया ना सर. अब आगे आंसर भी तो परसेंटेज में है ना. अब डेसिमल में ले लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है सर. ठीक है. नाउ so this is a question. He has given you volatility for 252 days as 25%. You have to calculate volatility for 1 day. Same, simple. Sir, mic बंद करिए please. So V252 is equals to VD into under root of 252. So this 252 is 25 is equals to VD into under root of 252. So when you will solve it, your VD is equals to 1.57%. Is that clear?
Yes.
Sure. Now, open case study number 1 मिनट रुकिए, मैं तो देख. Open case study number 39. Read it, please. Rather than reading it, solve it. Just solve it. I'll be back in a second.
एक मिनट सर
मैम सिंपल सेम इसमें है सारे स्टेप। ये क्लोजिंग प्राइस है, देन यू कैलकुलेट मीन, देन डेविएशन, देन स्क्वायर डेविएशन, then the sum of square deviation is divided by 10, you get your variance, then under root of variance you get your volatility, then from this volatility you calculate 1 day's volatility, then you will get 30-day volatility. Cut, copy, paste, same.
Sir, they did not calculate
एक
for 1
confuse-
day.
हाँ जी सर।
क्या हो गया मैम, क्या बोल रहे हो आप?
सर आंसर पे इन्होंने निकालने की बजाय वॉलेटिलिटी जो सेकंड पॉइंट में आंसर आया वही सेम लिख दिया।
हाँ जी सर, यही
सेकंड वाला क्वेश्चन सर।
एक मिनट। So this is your mean, fine. This is the volatility for 10 days. This is V10.
वो स्क्वायर रूट 1.25 किया है, 4 से डिवाइड नहीं किया, इसमें 10 से डिवाइड कर दी। ये कंफ्यूजन हो रही है इनको।
यही V10 है सर, ये सही कह रहे हैं V10।
सर। ये
This
तो
is
10
V10.
डेज की है ना?
हाँ जी, ये V10 days की है। ये वेरिएंस
जो डेली, तो जो सर डेली जो मंथली वोलेटिलिटी निकली है उसके लिए पहले हमें डेली निकालनी पड़ेगी ना इसके बेस पे।
हाँ,
तो
पहले आपको डेली निकालनी।
तो आंसर बदल जाएगा सर फिर।
एक कोई बात नहीं, अभी देख लेते हैं, एक मिनट, कोई बात नहीं, फिर क्या हो गया, इसमें गलत लिखा होगा बुक में, डोंट वरी
सर। लास्ट टाइम आपने कटवाया था उसको, वो गलत ही था, 3.39।
हाँ, मैंने इसीलिए आपको मैंने खुद करने को बोला सॉल्व। तो V10 is equals to V daily into under root of 10. So V10 is your how much? 10.75, right?
Yes sir।
Is equals to V daily into under root of 10 is 3 point कितना होता है?
3.16।
3.16. Okay. So from here you get volatility for 1 day is equals to कितना आएगा?
3.40।
3.40।
So this is equals to 3.40, right? Now you will do volatility for 30 days. V30 is equals to 3.40 into under root of 30. So solve it. Is it clear? So now is it okay?
Yes
sir।
हेलो सर।
Emergency answer? हाँ जी सर बोलिए।
सर जैसे चलो ठीक है, ये वोलेटिलिटी तो पर डे की आ गई 10.75, तो इसका वेरिएंस का मतलब क्या रोल हुआ?
सर वेरिएंस पहले निकलेगी ना, ये इधर देखो सर, कुछ नहीं है, इधर सोल्यूशन में वेरिएंस बाद में लिख दी। ये था आपका स्टेप 1, ये उसके बाद आप करोगे स्टेप 2, फिर उसके बाद आप करोगे स्टेप 3, फिर उसके बाद ये स्टेप 4, फिर ये स्टेप 5। अब ठीक है?
नहीं सर वो तो ठीक है, निकाल तो लिया सर, मतलब इसका जैसे स्टॉक प्राइस में मतलब इसका क्या इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है वैसे इसकी?
सर आपने वॉलेटिलिटी निकाल ली।
अच्छा, तो फिर वेरिएंस मतलब?
सर वेरिएंस तो एक फर्स्ट स्टेप है ना सर, वेरिएंस से वॉलेटिलिटी निकली है। वॉलेटिलिटी से आपको पता चलेगा ये स्टॉक की प्राइस कितनी ऊपर जाएगी।
अच्छा,
कितनी
वेरिएंस से मतलब वेरिएंस से वॉलेटिलिटी निकली है इसमें।
सर आपने आपने ये क्वेश्चन कैसे किया बताओ? ये वाला भी क्वेश्चन किया ना, पहले हमने वेरिएंस निकाला, वेरिएंस को अंडर रूट किया,
वेरिएंस को पहले अंडर रूट किया ना, ठीक है, फिर ठीक है वो स्टेप वाइज में, ठीक है सर।
सर एक और क्वेश्चन है सर, जैसे सर V10 अपना इसमें
एक मिनट रुकिए। नाउ प्लीज रिमेंबर इन द पेपर ही कैन आस्क यू दिस फॉर्मूला ऑफ वेरिएंस, he can ask you this formula of volatility, he can ask you simply this formula also, square root of time rule. Okay, so मैंने इसीलिए I made you do this entire question. हाँ जी सर बताइए क्या डाउट है आपको?
सर सेकंड क्वेश्चन में जो अपना V10 आया सर वो 10.75 आया ना, तो उसमें ब्रैकेट में सर क्वेश्चन में डेली वोलेटिलिटी लिखा हुआ है सर।
और यार आप सोल्यूशन को छोड़ के आप ये स्टेप्स कर लो ना यार, मैंने आपको बताया
क्वेश्चन में सर, क्वेश्चन में
सर मैंने अभी आपको बताया है कि दिस इज योर स्टेप 1, दिस इज योर स्टेप 1, उसके बाद दिस विल बी योर स्टेप 2, दिस इज योर स्टेप 3, दिस इज योर स्टेप 4 and this is your step 5. अब ठीक है सर, that's it. बस आप इसको आपने लिख लिया, इनको क्वेश्चनों को भूल जाओ सर लो। अब ठीक है सर, चलिए Now let us come back to our kit. Okay. First, let us read this volatility. What is this volatility? He says volatility is a measure of stability or instability of any random variable. So in terms of statistics, what is the meaning of volatility? It is a statistical measure of dispersion. Dispersion means deviation around the average. Average matlab mean. How much the data is deviated from the mean of any random number, any random variable. Now he says these variables can be earnings. You can calculate volatility of earnings, earning losses, value erosion, etc. Then see this. Volatility is the standard deviation of the values of chosen variable. And see this. Standard deviation is the square root of variance of a random variable. Is it clear, all these points? Then he can ask you this question. How do you compute volatility in VAR? Value at risk uses past data, historical data to compute volatility. This question comes, underline this. देखो इधर देखो, वैल्यू एट रिस्क में अब ये देखो, ये कोई पंडित जी नहीं है जो आपकी कुंडली देख के आपका भविष्य बता देगा कि कितना रिस्क है. It all depends on what data do you feed. If this data is correct, you get a correct volatility. If this data is wrong, you get a wrong volatility. Now, in the time of year 2008 to 2010, it was a very abnormal time because the crisis was so severe. So, if you calculate volatility using the historical data of last, let us say, maybe 20 years or whatever it is, we remove that data of year 2008, 2009 and 2010 because that was abnormal data. If you will put that data, तो आपको volatility will be very high. This model will say भाई मरने वाले हो बस, अंत सामने है. Okay, so when we will do value at risk, we will see that value at risk works only and only on in normal market conditions. When the market conditions are abnormal. सर मेरे को पहले बोलने दीजिए सर, प्लीज बोलने दीजिए. Let me, do not interrupt me, please. I request you, sir. ठीक है, just let me complete. उसके बाद आप पूछिए. Volatility is always measured. This thing I will do once I start value at risk. All I'm telling you that see, I calculated this volatility using old data. This is my historical data. Is that clear? हाँ जी सर बताइए. क्या डाउट? बोलिए सर, क्या डाउट है आपका? बोलिए सर.
हाँ जी, ये सर मतलब जो कितने से नीचे मतलब जाने के बाद जो आपने जो बताया कि इसके बाद जो खतरा डेंजर है,
क्या
अभी जो आपने सर बताया ना कि इससे अगर नीचे बिलो हो जाए तो फिर वोलेटिलिटी का,
मैंने कब कहा इससे बिलो हो जाए?
कुछ कहा सर ऐसा मैं वो.
अब कोई बात नहीं, आप वेट करिए. अभी वो मैंने ऐसा कुछ नहीं कहा, आपने कुछ और चीज को समझा होगा. हाँ जी. नाउ दिस he has asked once कि what are the methods to calculate volatility. So one is arithmetic moving average, one is exponential moving average. Just remember the names. Then why do we calculate volatility? Why is volatility estimated? He says volatility gives us the range in which prices are likely to move and helps us to understand how much will a stock or a bond price go up or down? See this thing, how much the price will go up, how much it will go down. So this is estimated by volatility. Then what is a downside potential? He says downside potential is another measure to assess risk. Volatility gives us both upswing and downswing. Volatility tells me upswing also, look here, upswing also and downswing also. Whereas downside potential only focuses on the lower part, downside part. Okay, downside potential measures only the negative potential or the adverse potential of loss. Is that clear? Then come to the previous page. What is yield volatility? Yield volatility is degree of variance. Variance means how much will the yield vary. Variance in yield. It increases as yield falls and is not affected by time or duration. Just remember this line. Okay, then now let us start with value at risk first.
सर लास्ट टाइम एग्जाम में मूविंग एवरेज से भी क्वेश्चन आया था.
क्वेश्चन है सर आपके पास?
नहीं सर.
किस तरह का क्वेश्चन था, कुछ आइडिया है?
एक बार मैं चेक करता हूं सर, कहीं एक सेकंड रुकिए. आप फिलहाल कंटिन्यू कीजिए सर, मैं बताता हूं.
अगर मिल जाए, एवरीबडी आई रिक्वेस्ट यू, इफ यू हैव एनी रिकलेक्टेड क्वेश्चन जस्ट व्हाट्सएप मी. देखिए ये जो मैं आपको करवा रहा हूं, हाउ एम आई टेलिंग यू, समबडी टोल्ड मी, सो इट इज बेनिफिटिंग यू. So घबराओ मत, just if you have, send it to me. Now, value at risk. Now let us say our Deepti madam is working in the risk management department of the bank. Her boss comes to her and he asks that, Madam Deepti, what is the risk today? She says, sir, one day loss at 99% confidence level is rupees 1 crore. Boss says, Madam Deepti, I did not understand anything. Please explain it to me in simple language. Deepti says, sir, I am 99% confident that daily loss will be up to 1 crore. That there is a 99% chance that if there is a loss, the maximum loss will be up to 1 crore, not more than that. And she says there is a 1% chance that loss will be more than 1 crore. So 99% confidence level says that for next one day, the loss will be up to 1 crore. And 1% chance loss will be more than 1 crore. Now, how much more, this VAR does not tell. When the boss asks her, okay, the 1% chance of loss will be more. How much more? She says, sir, I don't know. It can be unlimited amount. It can even result into bankruptcy. Okay. So, boss says, Madam Deepti, explain it to me now. Another way also, more simpler way. So Deepti says, sir, if there are 100 days in a year, suppose 1% means 1 day and 99% is 99 days. So 99 days loss will be up to 1 crore and 1 day loss will exceed 1 crore. So boss says, but Deepti, in a 1 year there are 250 trading days. She says, sir, koi baat nahi, 100 ki jagah 250 likh lo. So 1% of 250 is 2.5 days and this is 247.5 days. Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Note it down, please.
सर प्लीज थोड़ा और एक बार एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए।
आप पहले नोट करिए इसको।
सर ये नीचे वाला पार्ट को ना हिंदी में थोड़ा एक बार एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए। आउट ऑफ 100 days to 50 trading days।
सर 100 दिन अगर हैं तो 100 दिन में से 1% यानी एक दिन लॉस 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा होगा और 99 दिन यानी 99% 1 करोड़ तक होगा। तो सिमिलरली अगर 250 दिन है तो 1% यानी 2.5 दिन लॉस 1 करोड़ तक होगा और 99% of 250 is 247.5 loss will be up to 1 crore and 2.5 days loss will be more than 1 crore.
सर ये स्टडी किट में कौन सा पेज नंबर पर है?
सर अभी स्टडी किट को छोड़ो, आपने ये नोट कर लिया?
यस सर।
चलिए, नाउ अंडरस्टैंड वन मोर एग्जांपल. लुक हियर, हैव यू नोटेड एवरीबॉडी?
यस।
1 minute please.
हाँ, टेक योर टाइम. चैट बॉक्स में डन टाइप कर देना वंस यू नोटेड. Now, see another question. See this. This is another example. He says one day war at 95% confidence level is 5 lakhs. That means 95% chance that loss will be more than up to 5 lakhs and 5% chance loss will be more than 5 lakhs. So 5% means 5 days out of 100 loss will be more than 5 lakhs. Up to 5 lakhs means 95 days in 100 loss will be up to 5 lakhs. Okay. So then if he says in 125 days, that is 6 months. So the question will be like this. So he will give you this line and then he will ask you in 6 months, how many days the loss will be more than 5 lakhs, assuming 125 trading days. So answer will be simple. Ye 95% and this will be simply 5%. So 5% out of 125 days is 6.25 days. And remaining, the loss will be up to 5% loss will be more than.
सर ये 6 मंथ का निकालें क्या?
हाँ तो यही तो निकाल है ना सर कि इन 6 month period how many days the loss will be more than 5 lakh.
नहीं, मेरे कहने का मतलब है इसके आंसर निकालें, लॉस विल एक्सीड 5 lakhs और लॉस अप टू 5 lakh.
सर ये मैंने आंसर निकाल तो दिया, एवरीथिंग इज रिटन हियर, मैंने पूरा निकाल दिया.
So this is the only for 125 days. We are talking about the 6 months.
Trading days will be 125 out of 6 months.
सर इधर देखो, assuming $250 trading days in an year. So इसका मतलब 6 months में कितने ट्रेडिंग डेज हो गए? 125. Is that clear?
Okay.
Now one more question. अच्छा पहले before this let us start here. Now let us read value at risk on your page number 33. What is value at risk? Value at risk defines the predicted worst case loss at specific confidence level over certain period of time. This question comes assuming normal trading conditions. Value at risk works only when the trading conditions are normal. That means whenever the economy is in a very, very bad situation, abnormal situation, we do not take that data into value at risk, because then value at risk will give us wrong answers. Okay? Then VAR measures potential loss. ये देखो, VAR is not telling me any actual loss. VAR simply tells me that 95% chance that loss will be up to 5 lakhs and 5% chance loss will be more than. How much VAR is not telling me. Okay? It is a measure under normal circumstances of a portfolio. It is not a measure under abnormal market conditions. Now, I want all of you to read this example. Right now. Anji, have you read it? It is the same thing which we have done. Now, remember this. What are the methods to calculate value at risk? There are three main approaches to calculate value at risk. Just remember the names. Correlation method, historical simulation, and Monte Carlo simulation. अब इधर देखो, historical simulation is ये जो हमने किया था ये सारा, this one, this example. This is historical simulation. What is Monte Carlo simulation? If you remember, हमने in ABM we did the chapter simulations. Do you remember वो random number लेके किया था in ABM? That was Monte Carlo simulations. So you just have to remember these names. Now, do one more question. He says 10-day VAR at 99% confidence level is 100 crore. So first question is calculate 1-day VAR. So this is the same formula, square root of time rule. So V10 is equal to V daily into under root 10. And from here we calculate 1-day VAR. So once we calculate 1-day VAR, we can write it like this. Rather than 10 days, we write 1-day VAR at 99% confidence level is now, instead of 100 crore, we will write 31.62 crores. Is it clear? Please note it down.
Okay, sir.
Now, then these are 2-3 examples. They are very important.
सर थोड़ा सा रह गया था.
No, sir.
सर ये फॉर्मूला हमने वोलेटिलिटी में किया था ना, तो ये वार में
हाँ जी, ये वही फॉर्मूला है, स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ टाइम रूल.
ओके, तो ये सेम हमें वार में भी यूज करना है.
तो सर वॉलेटिलिटी वार में जो वॉलेटिलिटी कहाँ से आती है? वार में वी कैलकुलेट वॉलेटिलिटी बाय यूजिंग द सेम मेथड ना, हिस्टोरिकल सिमुलेशन. Now, these two slides are very important. These questions are in Macmillan, in theory. They're disguised inside the theory of Macmillan, which make them very important. So we cannot overlook them. We have to do them. So see this. First question is, he says overnight VAR of 45 basis points for US dollar INR at 95% confidence level. Means what? This means that there is 95% confidence level, means at 95% the movement will be only up to 45 basis points, and 5% movement will be more than 45 basis points. So let me write it here. Overnight VAR for US dollar oblique INR is 45 basis points. This means this at 95% confidence level. This means that 95% chance of movement of rate worsening, 95% chance of worsening means towards the loss of rate going down up to 45 bips and 5% chance of rate going down more than 45 bips. See this? Okay, समझ आया what is the meaning of the first paragraph? Then he gives an example. He says if today the spot rate is rupees 64, $1 is 64 rupees. For tomorrow, what is the worst possible rate for the exporter? So exporter is happy when dollar goes up, when the dollar becomes expensive. Like right now, $1 is 82 rupees. तो कल किसी ने फेसबुक पे वीडियो शेयर की, देयर वाज सम गधा जर्नलिस्ट, वो कह रहा था जी देखो इन ईयर 2000 $1 was in year 2008-9 $1 was at 42 rupees. बीच में टाइम आया था dollar went to 42. When I studied in America, when I did my post graduation, I was lucky that at that time dollar was at 42 rupees. ठीक है, तो कहता जी एंड अब देखो जब से मोदी जी आए हैं डॉलर कितना और रुपया कितना स्ट्रांग हो गया. इन $1 पहले आपको 42 रुपीज मिलते थे, नाउ यू गेट 82 रुपीज. मेरा मन करे उस जर्नलिस्ट के 2 थप्पड़ लगाए जाएंगे और गधे तेरे को इतनी भी अकल नहीं है. तो द थिंग इज यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. हाँ जी सर.
सर रुपया स्ट्रांग हुआ है, डॉलर
छोड़ो सर, आई एम नॉट डिस्कसिंग पॉलिटिक्स. ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज कि दैट वीडियो वाज रियली हिलेरियस. ठीक है, सिंपल सा आप एक फंडा याद रखोगे, डॉलर एप्रिशिएट. व्हेन यू हियर द वर्ड डॉलर हैज एप्रिशिएटेड, एप्रिशिएटेड मींस इफ डॉलर इज एप्रिशिएटिंग दैट मींस रुपी इज डेप्रिशिएटिंग. डेप्रिशिएट का मतलब होता है वीक होना, एप्रिशिएटिंग का मतलब होता है स्ट्रांग होना. So exporter is always happy when dollar appreciates and rupee goes down, because if he has an export order of $1 lakh, so instead of 75 now he will get 82 lakhs. Whereas importer will always be sad because he has to pay that money. Instead of paying 75 lakhs now he will have to pay 82 lakhs. So situation is is different for both the for exporter the situation is different, for importer the situation is different. So now see this, why I'm telling you this thing, because this will be used in this question. So he says for exporter the worst possible rate will be this 63.55 with 95% certainty. Why? ये देखो, exporter will not be happy if dollar becomes cheap. That means 64 minus 0.45. Whereas for importer, and he says with reasonable safety, there is only 5% chance that rate being worse than this price. Now this is a theoretical paragraph which was written in Macmillan. That is why I have explained this paragraph to you, because I don't know how he twists this theory to create a question for you. So that is why it is very important to understand this paragraph. Once you understand it, whatever question he gives, you can solve it. Okay.
सर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ये रट के गई थी क्या? अगर ऐसा सवाल पूछा गया तो इसका यही जवाब देना है?
सर नो कमेंट्स, आई डोंट वांट टू मेक एनी कमेंट सर। मैंने ये पॉलिटिक्स डिस्कस करना छोड़ दिया। मेरा एक बहुत अच्छा दोस्त था, बहुत अच्छा दोस्त,
जी सर,
उसने मेरे से बोलना बंद कर दिया क्योंकि मैंने एक बार बहुत साल पहले फेसबुक पे कोई पोस्ट डाल दी, ये इसी तरह। Okay, ma'am, one of my friend, he stopped talking to me because many years back I shared a post which made fun of the government. He lived in Australia. From Australia, he called me that Modi ji is very good and you have put this post. I didn't like it. From today, I will not talk to you. Now, that was the last day I stopped discussing all these things. So I don't discuss politics in class, sir. छोड़ दो। Problem ये है सर कि
sir, I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about intellectuality. कि जो जवाब दिया था, was it right or not?
Sir, it is the most stupid. It is the most stupid question you can say. वो stupid answer.
Okay, that means कि question ही stupid था।
नहीं, the answer was such a stupid answer.
हाँ सर,
भाई अब तो समझ जा।
ठीक है ना, आंसर ही स्टूपिड है। बताओ क्या क्या जवाब दूं इसका मैं कि जी हम कमजोर नहीं हुए, दूसरा मजबूत हो गया।
हाँ, दूसरा मजबूत हो गया। दैट्स ए रियली फनी आंसर ना सर।
Of course, what do you expect when your RBI governor is MA history? What do you expect? So छोड़ो, leave it, कोई फायदा नहीं, अपना अपना काम करो। चलिए, now this is fine. Next, there's another example. Now this example of value at risk is based on a bond. और सर ये ना प्रॉब्लम है कि we live in India, we are Indians, so we can see the idiotism of our politicians. ये जो आप बाहर आ जाओ, the politicians in US, Canada, England, what do you think? These people are very intelligent? They are also equally duffers. ये भी इतने ही बड़े गधे हैं, इनका भी कोई इलाज नहीं है। So leave it. Now, हाँ जी, नीतू मैम कह रहे हैं।
Take the example of US president also ना सर, previous US president जो है, he was also he had made end time stupid comments.
सर सारे बनाते हैं, क्या करोगे आप उसका, क्या कर लोगे बोलो।
जबकि सर वर्ल्ड को कमांड कर रहा है ना वो, देखो आप, मतलब यूएस मतलब सर की पूरा वर्ल्ड का लीडर है वो।
यार खुद ही कोई अपने आप को वर्ल्ड लीडर बना लेगा। ये पुतिन ने सबकी थ्योरियां खराब करके रख दी। ये जो अपने आप को क्लासरूम का मॉनिटर समझते थे,
जी सर,
ठीक है ना, वो इस टाइम सारा वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर हिल गया। सो ये थिंग्स चेंज, कुछ नहीं सर। ये दिस इज सर, एक बात समझ लीजिए, जस्ट रिमेंबर वन थिंग, वेदर इट इज इंडिया, वेदर इट इज एनी अदर कंट्री, हम हंसते होते हैं when we friends get together. So we say that these politicians are not Hindu, they are not Muslim, they are Rajputs. So जिसका राज उसके पूत, ठीक है ना। So this is just a joke कि and people switch sides. So जितने भी, I have so many cousins who are into business, proper business, ठीक है। जब कांग्रेस पावर में थी तो वो कांग्रेस के गुण गाते थे, Now BJP is in power, so they are very lovey-dovey with BJP. So they are very clear. वो कहते हैं भाई we don't have any relationship with any of them. We are only bothered हमारा काम नहीं खराब होना चाहिए. चलो छोड़ो. Now Madam Neetu wants me to explain this example in Hindi. So let us do it. देखिए मैडम नीतू, अब देखिए वो कहता है ओवरनाइट वैल्यू एट रिस्क इज 45 बेसिस पॉइंट्स फॉर दिस एक्सचेंज रेट at 95% confidence level. So that means if from an exporter's point of view, there's a 95% chance that the value of dollar will drop only up to 45 basis points. That means if the dollar is at, agar ye dollar, if this dollar is at 64 rupees, okay, and it drops by 0.45, there is a 95% chance. ये 95% chance है और 5% chance है कि ये जो ड्रॉप है ये फर्दर हो जाएगा. So 64 में से 40.45 माइनस करोगे, so what is the position? 63.55. And there is a 5% chance कि ये जो ड्रॉप होगा ये 0.45 से ज्यादा होएगा, more than 0.45. Now is it okay? अब समझ में आ गया with this diagram? ओके, अब क्लियर है जी. चलो नेक्स्ट, वैल्यू एट रिस्क एग्जांपल फॉर अ गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी. He says overnight value at risk for 1 year government security yield is 0.35%. Okay, current yield is 7.75. That means it is expected to rise or fall by 0.35. It can go up also, it can go down also. In the worst case scenario for a buyer, so if I am a buyer, I buy the bond. So when will I be happy? If the yield goes down, price goes up. So I will be happy if this yield goes down by 0.35%. That is 7.75 minus 0.35, 7.40. And if I am a seller of the bond, I want to sell in near future. I want the, sorry, if I'm the seller, now I want that the yield should be, यार महेंद्र जी एक मिनट मेरे को कंप्लीट करने दो ना यार, कंप्लीट कर लो एक बार इस छोटे से टॉपिक को, ब्रेक भी कर लेंगे. While the seller expects the yield to rise, okay, so 7.75 plus 0.35%, it is 8.10 by next day. So that means at 95% confidence level, there is only 5% possibility of adverse change, the change going against us. And at 99% confidence level, there is only 1% possibility of loss being higher than war. So this is just a theory page. You can take a screenshot, you can read it again at your house. Okay? इसको छोड़ दो गुरप्रीत, आई वुड रिकमेंड यू, आप इसको ना करो, आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. एग्जाम्पल तक कर लो. पिछला एग्जाम्पल, दिस एग्जाम्पल कैन बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम एज अ क्वेश्चन. ओके,
if the yield goes up, the bond price goes down.
Yep.
So when the bond price goes down, there lies the buyer, no?
Buyer, ma'am, see, when the bond price goes down, if I already have the bond and I plan to sell, I will not be happy. मैम छोड़ दो इसको, लीव इट. If it is confusing you, leave this slide, leave it. You focus on this one. You can take a screenshot here.
Okay.
सर इसी को एक बार हिंदी में कंप्लीट कर दो.